Hola, good morning. I'm Santos. I'm the acequiero of the village and I'm taking care of the acequia, the irrigation line that supply our houses and our gardens. And here start. Here we are in the acequia in the beginning, and the water that comes from the tunnels that we see before can until here, and this door is the party door that put the water in the river or put the water in the acequia, depend of the storms and depend of the high flows. But now let's open the gate and enjoy the acequia. Here is the water after 1 kilometer of very strange and crazy circuit. Here this tank supply the water through this pipe to the rampant, Ariete, Pomba de Ariete, and the Ariete is supplying the water to the houses. Okay, so this is the rampant, this is the heart of the village, and it's working with the pressure that is in the pipes and putting the water in the houses. It's a very old machine, I think have more than 100 years. There is a lot in China and in South America. And yes, it's very easy. When the water comes and this valve is up, the water is doing pressure here, and when the valve is open, it's taking water and water and water and putting the houses slowly, slowly, slowly. I think it's more or less like 4 liters per minute, and it's enough for 20 houses that we have. Here we have the irrigation line after the rampant, and with this water we irrigate our gardens. Venga, hasta luego.
The river water, which comes from the rampart to our tank and finally to our taps, has a lot of gypsum in it. So far there is no natural filter in order to absorb a big percentage of the gypsum so that it is considered safe to drink. As you can imagine, in Los Molinos we don't have a secure source of drinking water, but here in Sunseed we use 2 different sources of drinkable water. So the first one is the filtered rainwater and the second one is the spring water. So how do we use the rainwater? Well, normally here it doesn't rain a lot in this area, but when it does, like for example today, we collect the rainwater from the roof and the gutters and we store it in a big tank, which is actually 16 cubic meters, which is considered quite big in order to supply our needs. So the gutters are first led to a smaller tank, which is actually emptied every time before raining, so that we are sure that the water is clear inside the tank. And then this water travels to the big tank where it is stored, and this tank is connected with pipes that end up to the taps that we have in the kitchen.
So here you can see we have this tap which brings the rainwater to the kitchen. We collect this rainwater in this tank where we have the ceramic filters. These are the filters which can filter up to 99.9% of bacteria and other types of impurities. As you know, the rainwater that we collect from the terraces and the other rainwater gutters, it may contain some type of bacteria. So these filters will purify the water. The water will infiltrate through the pores of this filter, and then they will slowly drip down to this bottom tank. Other than this, we also have drinking water from spring water that we collect from nearby villages, that we transport it to the Sunseed that we collect it here. We are also conscious about our use of the water, so that's why we have this 3 bucket systems. That is one soap water, normal water and vinegar water. The soap water is normally thrown to the wastewater system and other 2 waters are given to the plants. We also have a no chemical policy. It means we don't use any type of chemicals here which doesn't contaminate the water with any types of chemicals, and we have our own cosmetics and biodegradable products and natural products.
Okay. So now, where does the water that we use go? Normally, we treat the water, or we collect the water from individual houses and treat it in central systems, or not even treat it and dispose of into the nature. And in contrast, treat the water on site is the best option to conserve the water that we use, and it is also more cost and energy effective. Let me explain you some tips that how treat water on site looks like. First of all, what we have to do is separate black water and grey water. Black water comes from the flush toilets and need different treatment, and grey water is the water that we have that comes from sinks, kitchen, and it needs simple treatment to be reused. At Sunseed, we don't produce black water. What we have is a system of dry toilets that don't use water, so our waste is turned into compost and our urine is turned into fertilizer. In this way, we don't produce waste, but we produce a resource for our gardens. Regarding grey water, our goal is also to reuse it in the garden in a safe way. There are many simple treatment methods that remove all grease and solid, for example filters and sedimentation, that assure that the grey water after treatment meets the regulation. At Sunseed, we implement non-conventional systems that allow us to conserve all the water that we produce on site.